it is unlikely, so you're probably just going to go Miraidon. But it is possible to win this turn.
Yeah, but Kim is being more of a realist here and getting Miraidon as expected. I think all things considered, you're happy with this. You've got your ideal turn one. Kristian hasn't even begun to get any cards into the lost zone, and you're even putting this Iron Hands into easier range for you later on. This is all great stuff for Kim here in our game 3.
And Kim wants 2 uses of Miraidon, so that gives Kristian 1 turn to get 4 cards in the lost zone and get Cramorant in the active after having moved the Iron Hands, or Kim is going to get their wish and get both of those uses of the Miraidon, and that's lovely. Now, here we do see an electric generator. Double hit could change things here, Joe. Oh, it is a double hit and everything. That'll do nicely.
Could it happen, Ross? So far, the arm press is at 180 damage, thanks to the 1 Iron Crown in play. We just need a couple more to be found here.
Yeah,
what supporter does Kim have in hand right now?
You need
to Iono.
You need 4 things. You need 4 in combination future booster. It is not that likely, but you haven't attached. But here's the thing: if you attach to Iron Hands and whiff, you don't get your Miraidon.
You do have a manual attachment for the turn. If you feel like that's relevant, it's going to go on to the Iron Hands EX and passes back over to Kim here. How can they capitalize? Could they arm press KO Kristian's own Iron Hands EX? Could they just take the 1 prize and fill even more energy into play? Well, let's start with the generator and see what happens.
You got 3 options here. You can go after the benched Iron Hands. You can amp you very much the Comfey for 2 prizes, or you can use Miraidon to KO the Comfey and accelerate a bunch more energy. All 3 of those are pretty nice, frankly.
Kim does have 1 hit from this electric generator. It's going to go on the other Iron Hands. So there's 1 ready to arm press and 1 currently just getting loaded up in the back. Still no Ampy very much option available. I'm pretty sure there are also turn attachments for Kim here.
Yeah, you've still got your turn attachment if you can find an energy or if there's already 1 in hand. So you've got options here.
I don't know. We're getting a fresh 6 for Kim here. Kristian also having to shuffle one of those chorus to the bottom after having just lost zoned 1.
Not an ideal situation. Free energy, so you've got your attachment for the turn. You've got a heavy baton there and an Arven for next turn at least. So that's going to help out.
Are we just looking for 60 here? Did we miss any Iron Crown or the option? Oh man, do we even play retreat the active perhaps? It has a 2 retreat cost, so you'd have to spend your attachment just to retreat, then rely on heavy baton, and you still only be taking 1 prize. Or do you just still keep setting up more Iron Hands? I feel like that's also a really reasonable choice, but it's not the tempo we were expecting here. We really assumed that Kim was taking 1 or 2. We didn't think 0 was on the menu, but the Iono has not helped.
No, I laid out 3 good options, and none of them actually ended up being a possibility in the end.
Okay, we are going aggressive. We're going to try and take a Comfey off this board, give Kristian less draw, and initiate this prize race. I think the safety net of the heavy baton is the reason Kim has taken this aggressive line.
I like the heavy baton. I also like the fact that Kristian has still got some work to do. Now, it's a weird information game, but when you see your opponent lost zone a Chorus, you know they've got a Chorus in hand. So then when you play an Iono, you know you're putting 1 to the bottom. So you know that 3 of their 4 Chorus are basically unavailable. And you also know that they probably need to play a Chorus in order to get to 7 in the lost zone. Not guaranteed, but likely. And that means that Hooper is probably off the table. Again, this is all uncertain, but you know there's a good chance Hooper's not coming out, which makes your Iron Hand safe. So that's about the only way Kristian's getting rid of it.
They will be able to at least shuffle the deck with this buddy pop in. I think getting another Comfey is also very reasonable here. But yeah, like you said, mostly going to be helpful to shuffle a Chorus back towards the top, so you maybe hit it from some of these power selectings.
That's what you're looking for. Also worth noting that Prime Catcher has been shuffled to the top of the prizes, so the chances of that Prime Catcher coming out really in this game are very, very slim at this point.
That was a terrible issue in heavy ball. All the good cards went to the top of the prizes.
Yeah, there's a Mirage Gate at the top as well. So basically what's happening here is that Kristian is almost probably out of Gusty for the game, honestly, with the boss's orders already disposed of. That means Gusty is probably not happening.
Here comes some big flower selectings then. Kristian needs the help. Ooh, it's Ryko that has to go, I think, in order to keep this Hooper. But now you do lose your Forest Stone option.
Yep. I think that was a good choice.
No, don't attack retreat the Comfey here just for 1 more flower selecting. We're in a tough spot. Mirage Gates in hand, but we can't use them yet.
No, you don't have a good attack.
This hand is poor. You can retreat, and really now we're banking on a Colress.
It's not a Colress. Darkness
switch.
energy and switch. There's a darkness energy in the discard as well.
There are 4 copies within the list, so I think it's safe to remove one.
Yeah.
We can get one more flower selecting here for Kristian. After this one last Comfey, you're still out of range of Mirage Gate, so it still has to be Colress here.
Well, this will activate Mirage Gate, and it's Saberline and Water Energy. Again, that's a bit awkward. Water Energy means that your Greninja is not, well, Death is technically an option, but it's awkward. But Saberline, we've seen how that can really help.
It's
So you can get the early poke with Cameron.
I think the Saberline is like not great here, but because you've lost your other gusting effects, it just feels even worse if it hits the loss at this stage. But it's what you have to do here as Kristian.
Yeah, it's not like last game where the Saberline was a really obvious attacker that served a really obvious purpose. So
Yeah, this Ino has worked so nicely for Kim. As you said, identifying that Colress was lost zoned, let me get rid of the Colress in hand, and it gives Kim the advantage now, who can go up 2 prizes this turn if they wish, with an Ampy Very Much, your favourite, Ross.
Yeah, I love Ampy very much. That makes me very happy. That would go up to 3 prizes taken, and that would be a very, very big deal.
We also have Arven, and that could also grab Prime Catcher. You'd still be only taking 2 prizes, but you could take out your opponent's Iron Hands EX, which is also looking very tempting.
And get 2, yeah, and well, you take 2 prizes while taking a threat off the board. So
Yeah.
no, I love that play. And is it 1 or 2 generator we've seen so far this
I
game?
think we've played 1 so far.
So there's definitely generator available with actually 1 in hand, it looks like. So we could even see some more energy getting established onto a 3rd Iron Hands here, really setting up a suite of them. Hooper is always going to be an issue, but it doesn't matter if you can return KO. Although I'm looking at bench space here. You're gonna need 2 more modifiers if you're gonna be using an arm press to KO a Hooper.
True. Yeah.
That's like next turn for Kim,
Yeah.
but it's important.
You're right. I think that's one of the only things that Kristian can do now to sort of keep in a race. If you can just hang on with a Hooper and it sticks around, that would be huge. So Kim does have to be careful about that board positioning now, because it feels like they're squeezing ahead this turn. It feels like the momentum is definitely with them. It's just making sure that you can close out this game. You've got this far ahead. You don't want to let something slip now. Eddie Baton's the first choice.
No, agreed. If you leave 1 bench space free, then 1 gets KO, then you can just grab 2 Iron Crown. And that will do it. That will get you the KO.
More generators the choice. Let's just fit even more energy as we go.
That's 2 a generator in hand now, so this could be a very pivotal turn. We could end this turn with 3 Iron Hands ready to go, and that would be huge.
That would be so dangerous.
Especially with only 3 prizes left to take. So
Yeah.
here's the first generator. What have we got? You're looking at the top cards. Are we going to see any energy? It's another one.
No.
How many times is Kim going to whip in this matchup?
I mean, sure, but that's why you grab a second one, Ross. Also, there's a lot of energy in play.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you still have decent odds, and it is a bit of a low roll, but there's a couple in hand, quite a few in play. I think there's only like 3 or 4 lightning in the deck left, so they're not like super high odds. I think Kim,
Here, make it even. A second whip.
yeah, okay, now you're allowed to be a little bit frustrated with that. That was your support. Yeah, your supporter was spent doing nothing essentially now.
Oh, that is whip. I'm sorry, Kim has. Somebody go and do the maths. I've not been keeping count. Someone go back to the BOD, do the maths for me. Hit us up on Twitter. Use the hashtag #PlayPokemon. I think Kim has been hitting much less than 1 energy per generator here. It has not been going great, but you're still taking 2 prizes. You're going down to 3 prizes remaining. You do have an Iron Hands ready to retaliate. 2 Iron Crown next turn could be all you need. And Kristian, I mean, you've basically got Hooper as a response, but that could be a response KO back.
That's the risk. That's the concern. Kim now has taken 3 prizes, so Roxanne is open. Maybe you're crossing your fingers that you can use a Hooper EX and Roxanne at the same time. Maybe that's a way that you can hang on with your chunky 2 prizer.
No, if Roxanne is played, Kim's drawing 2 lightning out.
Oh, come on.
That's just how this goes, Joe.
No, not in this final. I believe in Roxanne. People call it a lie, but it's still an incredible card.
Oh, Roxanne is an incredible card. We've all lost a lot of games to Roxanne over the years. We've all lost at least 1 game, so we played Roxanne when we weren't allowed to. Admit it, you've all done it.
Let's see some power selectings from Kristian now. We put a couple energy back into the deck. The lost zone is out of counts now that we can start spending these Mirage Gates.
Yeah, you got a Mirage Gate. That's why we dropped the Lightning Energy in the Lost Zone. It wasn't ideal, but you wanted your Mirage Gate. Here comes a Switch Cart. Another Comfey for another flower selecting.
Ooh, Colress.
And Lost Fact.
It's frustrating that it's up against Vacuum, yeah, because you want to get rid of this heavy baton if you can.
Oh yeah, if you're looking to take a KO this turn, you've got to be looking to take KO this turn. You
so
do
rough
not
that it's up
want that
against
heavy
Colress.
baton.
Yeah, it's so rough that it's up against Colress, and I think Kristian's right to value the Lost Vacuum this highly.
Yeah. It's the right choice, but it's another one of those choices which is incredibly awkward. You do now. There goes a Hooper.
Yeah, we have double Mirage Gate in hand, so we can gate to retreat this Comfey and still get Darkness Energy onto this Hooper EX. I believe there's still enough non-Darkness Energy in the deck to do that.
There's at least one Psychic, so we're good in that regard. Yeah. So here we get the energy on there, the energy on the Hooper. Second Mirage Gate, we'll get the second Darkness on Hooper. We've got the response KO, and Lost Vacuum will get rid of that heavy baton, which is huge.
And Kristian's finally going to start responding here in a big way, as you said, at least in prize cards, but also the fact that you're removing energy for good with this baton being removed. Kristian also going to load that Iron Hands a little bit closer towards Ampy very much, so they can maybe capitalize on Miraidon later down the line.
Yeah, that could be a nice two prizes, of course. Gusting, unavailable for Kristian right now. Boss's orders is gone. Prime Catcher is stuck in the prizes. Kristian doesn't know that he's probably not going to draw into it for a while. He is just hoping. Now, here comes the Lost Vacuum.
Yeah.
Gets rid of the heavy battle, which never seems to work. It just makes your opponent spend a bunch of resources. Here comes the Hooper for the giant KO, taking the first two prizes and removing all 4 energy off of the board. But there is a response potentially coming from Kim. This is not a game ender yet.
It's still a huge energy crush, and it's exactly what Kristian needs to do to stay in the game. Just slightly bank a water energy to end the turn on a Comfey, just in case this Hooper EX does get KO'd. Let's see if Kim can guarantee the way there. Well, yes, Arven can get Techno Radar for a couple more Iron Crown. There is bench space for them now.
Yeah, and that's all you need here. You need 2 Iron Crown. You'll then be hitting 220 with Arm Press. That is the KO. And Kristian, it isn't like the old Mewtwo Wars. Iron Hands doesn't KO Iron Hands unless you're playing a whole bunch of damage modifiers, which Kristian isn't. It is going to be awkward to get a response KO on that Iron Hands. It's going to take Roaring Moon or a recovered Hooper in order to do it. But then you're asking for Mirage Gate, and there's 2 were played just last turn.
Kim debating using the Iron Bundle here instead of Iron Crown, keeping the Hooper EX in play.
I don't like that.
Here comes the Arven. I do think there's still 2 crown within the deck. There is 1 prize, but I think we're still fine. I don't think we've discarded any this game.
Don't remember discarding any.
Catcher going to get discarded. I think there is still 2 crown EX, so I think we're fine.
As well.
We're just going to take out the Hooper EX. That seems relevant. Just keeping tabs on that Iron Bundle is reasonable, because it can be another game ender for you later down the line.
Oh, absolutely. It can be a very, very nice card. Next turn, you can just push something to the bench and then KO. Although, to be honest with you, you're going to have 1 prize remaining, and right now, anything on Kristian's side of the board is in arm press range because of those 3 Iron Crown.
Yeah, we're in great shape. Thanks to the Arven guaranteeing we're even going to see the Future Boost Energy Capsule committed, and it's going to be the arm press for the KO. Thanks to the triple Iron Crown on the bench. Kim goes down to just 1 prize card remaining in 3. How can Kristian respond here?
And
go on.
I was going to say, one important point to note, there's only 1 Lost Vacuum in the list, and it's gone. That heavy baton, probably safe, although something you've mentioned several times. I'm going to be the one to mention it this time, Joe. Frenzied Gouging.
Can do it, yeah.
But then again, you can just KO with a ride over single energy if that happens. So maybe that doesn't even work either. I love Kim's position here. You set yourself up so that you are going to have something to attack with next turn and be able to potentially finish this out. We do see an Iron Bundle from Kristian here.
I think we just have to thin the deck. I think we just have to find Roxanne. Without Roxanne, Kristian really doesn't have much of a hope this turn. Kim's hand is too large, and we know there's a lot of supporters in there. And those supporters can work all sorts of ways to the end of the game. Kristian needs a lot. Like you said, Ross, he has to reload some attackers with Mirage Gates. We're just really being hopeful. 2 not great cards here.
No, well, I think, haven't we already lost Zone, the only Pokemon V?
Yeah, it was Hooper up against the Raikou.
Yes.
So having to take a Buddy Pop in doesn't feel great, but You know, they're both as dead as each other really at this point.
Yeah, they're both terrible cards, but you literally cannot use the Forest Seal Stone there. It does nothing for you. Now, here we get the poker gear. We're looking for a supporter of some description. I don't
It's Hodas, but it's not Roxanne. That's what we wanted here. Really had to disrupt Kim a little bit more than this, I think. We will at least get 5 more cards to try and cobble something together. But it feels like Kim's board state is just so strong now.
No, it's a very strong board state. You still haven't even seen a super odd from Kristian, which we're going to need to. I mean, it's got to be Hooper, I suppose, is the easiest one to go for here. It doesn't feel good, but I think it's got to be Hooper at the time being. But if you don't get rid of the heavy baton, then you're just getting a return code immediately anyway.
The 5 cards aren't that phenomenal either. I don't see any Mirage Gate there. Can we lower our hand size enough for Mew EX to possibly panic draw us a card here or there?
Now, there is a Mirage Gate in the prizes, and we've definitely seen 2 get played. Is a 4th one definitely available?
Must be.
I mean, if Kristian's still playing, it's got to be.
We can still see a few more cards. We can retreat this Confay and see another 2. Kristian going to take the time to quickly burn a Buddy Poppin and have a look at what's remaining. But yeah, there's definitely Mirage Gate available. Yeah, there's no energy in the deck, so you have to find it alongside Super Odd.
You need Super Odd for whatever you're attacking with
So
anyway,
true.
probably.
And Ball Search, we need so many cards here.
Oh, and the problem, and that's the thing, right? Even if let's assume Kristian gets a Hooper, well, the heavy baton is just going to move the energy to benched Iron Hand, and you've already got the free Iron Crown down, so arm press for the win. Or you use Roaring Moon to frenzy gouging, but then you just attach 1 energy to Miraidon, and that gets a KO, and that's the win. So even if you get the KO...
Well, we have Mirage Gate. Is there anything that Kristian can come up with now? Definitely taking their time. They know their back's against the wall here. Have to make sure they have thought about every option. So many different attacking Pokemon in the deck list. I don't think there are many defensive lines you can take here, though. Ross, I think Kim's position is just too strong.
There's no gusting. The only way you can do is Iron Bundle. But yeah, if you Iron Bundle, that's what's going to happen.
Kim's not falling for that one.
No, that Iron Crown's got free retreat. You can Iron Bundle and hope your opponent puts the wrong Iron Crown active. That is not currently working. Now, we do see the Roaring Moon hit the bench, but I don't know. Well, we definitely don't have the energy right now. We've not seen a Super Rod yet.
But importantly, it has 230 hit points. So maybe that's the sponge of the turn.
It would force a future. It would.
There's a heavy baton attached, right? So you know that the Iron Hands is limited to 220.
An Iron Bundle
it's Roaring Moon EX coming into the active position. We can then Mew EX for 1 card. Is it Super Odd?
I don't know. No,
it's Roxanne for next turn. So you're just really hoping to sponge a hit here with your Roaring Moon EX. This is the only thing Kristian can do to be safe this turn. Your highest hit point basic, holding on by just 10 hit points right now, and passes back over to Kim. Can they close the game out here? Well, here's a professor's research to find out.
What can we see here in terms of cards? What are we looking for in order to try and get this?
Well, no try and catcher.
That was what we were really looking for, honestly.
That would have been lights out.
Not seeing anything there that's game ending. Annoyingly, Iron Bundle would be game ending, but you don't have the bed space. Future Booster Energy Capsule would be game ending, but you don't have a space to put the tool on. So I think, you poke with Miraidon and go, you're still not winning next turn, and I've just taken away the one option you had for sponging.
Yeah, I think this is about as good as it gets for Kim. If you can't win this turn, let's swing, hit for 120 with our peak acceleration, get an extra energy or couple out of the deck for the next Iron Hands. I think Kim is edging closer and closer to the victory here. He knows he is right on the door, on the precipice of getting his first victory of a high-tier event.
Yeah,
Bologna SPE.
It doesn't feel like Kristian got any closer to winning there. It feels like Kristian just elongated our finals by a turn.
Got to respect it. You've got to play to these outs. There's Roxanne in hand now, Ross. There may be even more lines available.
Oh, absolutely. And these Lost Zone decks have a lot of tricks. But this is the kind of thing where even something like Sableye potentially, like Sableye plus a Prime Catcher onto Iron Crown, that would be such a fun play. It's not coming out because the Prime Catcher's prize, but something like that would be so much fun here. Try and set up a ridiculous 4-prize turn. Frenzied Gouging is now off the table.
No, that's it.
Kristian extends the hand, and Pobega is your Bologna Special Event Champion with
Congratulations to Kim. What a fantastic final. Back and forth.